Welcome to Aaron Plays. In this episode we'll be continuing the Battle of Hanau, and it will be the coalition's fifth turn, which is occurring at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So, going through the sequence of play, the first thing that is determined is army morale level. The French have taken at this point 20 losses, and their army morale level is increased by the actual units they got disordered, which is another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that will take them to 30 army morale. Just on a recount, the French are actually on 19, because I recovered a couple of steps, so are on 19 losses, and then with a disordered makes 29 actual army morale level. The coalition are on 38 step losses, but with their disorganized units, mainly caused by here, they are now at 61, which is 1 point over their army morale level. So they have breached their demoralization threshold, which means that each unit has its morale modified by -1. So every unit on their side has a -1. And it says each good order unit with at least 1 step loss immediately checks morale. Well, I've gone through. They have no good ordered unit which has taken a step loss. All the good order units on the board are without loss, so they don't suffer that penalty. Okay, so otherwise every unit would have had to take a morale check if they were in good order and had taken at least 1 step loss. That has not occurred, but all of their units' morales now are 1 less. After morale we do command status. So the commander is here and his subordinates must be within 10 hexes of him, which they all look to be. Spallini's probably the furthest one. He's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fresnel over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, just in. So yes, so everybody is in command with regards to the general to his officers. Now regarding the units to their commanders, I can't see anything. There's quite a few. Fresnel, yeah. These guys with the red underscore belong to Fresnel. He's got a command range of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these guys in the town are out of command. These 2 batteries are out of command. So I think they could go to, yes, they have given them to Clenell as well, who's here. So 1, 2, those guys in the town are definitely out of command. Then Lamotte, who's in command of the 3rd Division, he's got some units over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a bit of a mess over here. Becker's with his 2nd Division. Okay, and Spallini. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's quite a few guys out of command here. Okay, so what are the effects of being out of command? Out of command units that are not disorganized must move, if they do move, towards their line commanders. If they are disorganised, they keep moving towards their line of communication if they decide to move. If they don't decide to move, they can remain in their current hex. That means I'm going to have to be very careful when I move this massive detritus, whereabouts they can go, because they've got one commander over here is the 3rd Division, so if they're out of command, they must move that. While they're disordered, they actually keep moving back to the line of communication, which is off camera over this way. Anyone's a part of the 2nd Division have got to move back to this goal, which is also towards the lines of communication if they're disordered. The guys in the town here, they must move towards their commander, which is Fresnel over there. Okay, so now we're going to the cavalry charge phase, and there are none. Then into the movement phase. So I'm going to start over this side here. We have a bit of an aggressive move by a square here. Now, he wants them to form into column, which was the movement point, and whilst they're in square, they only actually have one movement point, but they're allowed to change into that, which then gives us this square, this column now 4, which is 2, 3, and then form into square again. My cavalry, because they're disorganised, cannot react. So just go through that move again. So it's 1 into square, 1 into column, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5th point back in the square there. So as I said, my cavalry cannot react to this because they're disorganised. Now, it's one of the little problems I have with the rules at the present moment. We're playing with the core set. In actual fact, it's not even a problem with the core set rules. When I'm not playing with orders, specific orders, because that to me is an aggressive move. These guys are obviously on the defensive at the present moment, so they shouldn't really be doing that. But we're not playing with the order restrictions. These are little counters that you get on the back of the voltigeur counters, and they have particular orders that you can assign to formations, such as attack, retreat, defend, reserve, march, and so on. And then you need to be able to change. If you want to change the order, the army commander's got to do it and such forth. So little one-off counterattacks like this, marching towards disordered cavalry, you normally wouldn't be able to do if I was using the order system, which I will be doing after this game from then on. So my cavalry here cannot react. They can't countercharge, they're disordered. This cavalry here is out of their range. She's again marked out of the cavalry range. So yeah, it's a little quirk, but there we go. Okay, this horse battery is forming up for 2 movement points, 3, broken ground for artillery. So I keep saying broken, it's difficult. That's 4, 5, and then to unlimber 6, 7 again. So that's fine. And this infantry forms column for 1, 2, 3, 4 into line. Okay, let's stack them up there. Now these are all part of Spallini's guys. Actually, that was part of the reserve. So the reserve will gain a fatigue. so that'll take them to 5. So now they're starting to take morale problems. And yeah, once you take 5 fatigue points, your morale drops by 1. If you take 10 fatigue drops, fatigue, your morale drops by 2, and so on. So by them moving to here, he's now put anything with the reserve at an additional -1. So for example, this unit has a morale printed of 8. It's -1 because the whole army morale's gone down by 1, so it's 7. And because it's now fatigued, it's at 6. So Spallini's guys, so that's reserve infantry there as well. The artillery doesn't modify fatigue, just the infantry and the cavalry. Okay, I think we're seeing some withdrawal of the cavalry. These two will take Fresnel off them. They're going back to here. Okay, I'm going to bring the camera down a little bit. Okay, so Fresnel not staying with those 2 units. He's moving back to try and recover these 2, which he's now got facing that way. Where's Fresnel? There he is. There's little 5 next to him. Okay, this carries forward back 1. This infantry's come here for 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then Spallini himself, whose morale fatigue I haven't increased as yet, goes to 4. Okay, now this Cossack here, one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's on the 3rd division, which is this guy. So his morale fatigue's gone up to 5 as well. Okay. Mr. Spallini himself, who's 1, 2, 3 there. Now I've given him enough fatigue, but I'm not sure if anything of his has moved more than half their movement. No, I don't think so. I'm actually going to put it back to 3. I know for a fact Lamotte and Fresnel definitely, but not Spallini. Okay. Okay, so we have some disorganised guys falling back here. Now crossing the wall, +2. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that's allowed. Mr. Mort trying to recover their morale. Now this out of command guy is moving towards Fresno, which is over here. So 1, 2, and then also deployment to line. And release the skirmisher at that point. Now he's technically gone he's back in command, but he's actually left with an out command marker on him until the end of the turn. But I'm going to take that off now. It won't affect anything else he's trying to do. Right, the reserve artillery here moves towards commander. And this infantry stays here. Okay, I think he's trying to stay huddled inside the town, making sure he doesn't get hit by some artillery. Okay, so moving to the over section, this over here. Right. As I say, these are out of command, so they've got to move towards their commander, who was here, he's now here, but still. Now, currently they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13 away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He wants to deploy them there. I honestly don't think they can. My bad. As I said, Clay now can take control of them because that's the reserve is under Fresnel and Clay now. So that gun can do as he wishes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, deploy there. Okay, right, I think we've got a mass exodus here. Right, he's got to move this battery. Well, let's see. Okay, so unit 3. Okay, where are all these guys going to? He's about the way. So this one here goes back to there. Go back to that. Okay. Then he wants this lot. Wow. This one goes back to 1, 2 to there. Okay. These all go back. I think let's try and stay away from McDonald's boys, so they can't get shot at, and therefore take another morale check. Now, this lot here. And this reserve gun. Alright, he's got one unit over here coming in. So 1 into 2, 3, 4. He's got skirmishers deployed across the stream, but that takes a whole turn, so that ain't happening. Diverter's gone back into the town. Okay, so it just leaves this stack here. He's got them going into these guns, but that will then make the guns have to take a morale check and probably overstack, so I'm not sure that's what he intends. So he's trying to avoid going in here, because then I can shoot them again. So executive decision, I think. Okay, so how many steps has he got in this unit here? 11. Oh no, that's unit 14, my bad. There's 2 steps remaining in that one. Yeah, you can't have them in and stack with the guns. So there's 2 steps in that one. Unit 24. That's got 3 steps in it. And unit 38. That's 4. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 steps. Well, they can go into with the guns. Then the guns will have to take a morale check. I'm going to check on that. Okay, so they can enter the hex here. It then becomes, well, it's not overstacked. As I said, there are 4 steps, plus 3 is 4, plus 3 is 7. 8, 9. Actually, they would be overstacked. Okay, what would I do in that circumstance? Would I get the guns out of the way? Because he obviously wants the guns here. I know that's going to there. He wants the guns here to actually start shooting there. But then he won't want to go in there. And he doesn't want, and you can only go the 1 hex. So that's his 3 options. That unit is just moved there. I think he's going to have to move the guns. Otherwise he's got problems. Because it will be overstacked. So that's 2 movement for the guns. 3. And he can remain there, ready to do what goes next to him. Then these guys can enter this hex. And not worry about being overstacked and breaking in the rules and regs. Okay, that guy then goes there. Right, now you can have your fatigue back. They've got their fatigue back. Right, so that's everyone moved back over there. I'm just going to have a final check on his photographs of what he's been sending me. Make sure I haven't missed anything. No, I think that's covered all the movements. So, defensive fire. I've got an artillery battery here. Okay, so that would be 5, 4, 3, 2. 1 into the actual difficult terrain. It's not a great shot. Or 5, 4, 3, to -1 for the voltigeurs, or this cavalry. 5, 4, 3, 2. I think we'll take that shot at the cavalry. Okay, make sure you can see everything. Alright, so it's this unit shooting at the cavalry here. Right, where's my dice got? There it is. Okay, so it's 2 firepower, so it requires a 5 or 6 to hit. That's a miss. Okay, so I'm going to put a little red dice to remind me where I've fired so far. So there's no shooting over here. I've got no batteries. There's no targets here. They've gone now. Okay, nothing here. Right, I've got a battery under here. So I think shooting, yeah, on this guy here. So it's 6, 5, 4. Four with a 4 is a hit, and that's on unit 16. Their morale is 6 printed. However, overall morale makes that 5, and he's in the 3rd division, which is Lamotte, which has got the fatigue problem. So his morale is actually only 4. I think I've done that off screen, so oops. 4. Yeah. They disorder. Okay, so they can go straight back on there and they won't overstack. And we're in turn 5, so they got 5 marker on them. Okay, and I believe that's all my shooting. Offensive fire. There's this gun battery, yep. Okay, and this infantry square here. Is it square on the screen? Yeah, it is, yeah. There's square into here. Would he combine? Yeah. The battery's 4, 3, 2. The infantry, now in square, they've got 2 off their fire value, but they've always got a minimum of 1. So they're at 1. So it's 1 from square, 2 for the gun, for 3 on my cavalry. How rude. That's off screen. That is an unusual result for the Austrians. A 1, so that's a miss. Okay, that's that battery. This battery here, nothing at present. Centre that goes through that hill. And when I fired there, that didn't. No, it does. 4, 3, no. No targets. No targets, no targets. No more offensive fire. Okay. Melee. Squares can't initiate melee. So they're just looking at my cavalry there. So no melee. Okay, rally phase. So now this is turn 5. So anything with a 3 or lower can be attempted to rally. So, alright, so we're starting right down the bottom here now. Okay, we've got some Austrians here. He's on 1. Morale of 8. -1 is 7 for the general disorder, or demoralised, and then a -2 for being disorganised makes it down to a 5. And they actually recover. Right, the unit next to them, their morale's printed as 7, demoralised 6, and been disorganised 4. No, so they fall back to 1, 2. What's the line of communication? These are all 4s, so they can't. As I say, it's 3 or lower. Now, I think in here with the Mott, that's a 3 and a 2. Okay. Right, so the top unit here, he's got a 3 on him. Print morale is 8. Lamotte himself makes 9. However, they're disorganised, takes him down to 7. Overall army morale, 6, and they've got fatigue, makes 5. No, they go 2 back. So crossing the stream takes all of their movement, but they have got a route here. 1, 2. The other unit will also, it starts at 8, +1, 9, take away 3. Take away 2, take away 4, makes it a 5. No, so they go back 2 as well. Would the Mock go with them? You might put, I think I'll leave him there. Otherwise I might stop putting other things out of command range. Okay, over here these are 5s. 4 and a 3. There's a 3 there. Okay. His morale is an 8. He's in the 2nd division. So the morale there, fatigue's okay. So he's on an 8, take away 2, 6, take away 1, 5, that's 5. Was an 8. He goes 2 back. 1, 2. Okay. 2 lots here, so they're both on 5 as well. First one. He recovers. And the second one. He recovers too, both on 5s, both recover. Four, 4, this is a 3, he's on an 8, also on a 5. No. 1, 2. And then the 3 stacked with Bex, 8, 8, and so they're all 8s. So they all go down to 5, but Bex makes it a 6. 3 rolls of 6. Top one? No. Middle one? Yes. And lowest one? No. So 1 recovered, 2 didn't. Okay. So the middle one is recovered. So they go back to 1, 2. They recovered. Let me go back 1, 2, 1, 2. Where's Bex? There he is. He'll probably go back with them. Right, that's actually an artillery battery back. Okay. Artillery aren't allowed in forest. Okay, we'll say that recovered there. We were looking when they were disordered. Yeah, artillery aren't allowed in forest. Okay, so that's their morale recovery. So they recovered a few units there, which will probably put them back over the demoralisation line. Which means if they go back over the 60 again, they do not have to take that other morale check. When I checked their army morale at the beginning of the French 6th turn, their morale will recover back to the normal morale if they have the points. Otherwise, but once again I get them over 60, their army morale drops by the -1. They don't suffer that extra morale check, which they didn't suffer this time anyway, because they didn't have any units which were in good order with only 1 step loss. So that's morale recovery rally. Done the fatigue. There was no melees. So that, I believe, ends the coalition's 5th turn. So yeah, was I doing a lot of checks that were off camera? Oh, probably was. Oh dear. Okay. Yeah. A lot of units recovered over here. So, anyways, if you enjoy what you're watching, please hit the like and subscribe if you've not done so already. Any comments much appreciated. And I'll see you again soon when I do the French 6th movement, 6th turn. Bye bye.